Anyone impressed by that? Anyone? No? That's all right. You're not supposed to be. That is one of the most iconic synthesizer songs. It's Van Halen's Jump, of course, and it came out on their 1984 album, 40 years ago. And if you're hanging out with friends, you're in a practice space, maybe it's a school with pianos, maybe you're at grandma's house for the holidays, and there's a piano in the corner. You're going to go show off for your family and friends by playing that song. If there's a keyboard in the room, that song just plain happens. Every time, no fail. The thing about that song, when you get to the point in the middle, after playing through a couple of verses, the choruses, and then Eddie Van Halen's guitar solo, of course, which is in a different key, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. You get to that part where the keyboard solo enters. And this blew everybody's mind at the time. It was one of the first examples of synthesizer rock, and it was new to the world, and Eddie Van Halen, who wrote those parts and wrote the keyboard parts too, played that solo, and he took the same shreddy chops that he takes to the guitar. However, what he created is something that you can recreate really easily. You don't have to be shreddy with a keyboard to do this solo. All you have to have is 3 fingers and the ability to count to 10. And I'm going to show you exactly how to play that solo. I'm not going to worry about the rest of the song. Maybe later we'll go back into what the basic chord and the structure of the song is, but it's that solo that I want to focus on right here. Because that thing broke everyone's heads 40 years ago. So let's take a look at it. First things first, the song is in the key of C, C major. All white keys. There's no weird stuff in it. There's not a lot of jazz chords, none of that expensive stuff. I mean, except for what Eddie Van Halen can do, of course, with his guitar. The keyboard parts themselves pretty much stick to the white keys. 3 chords, C, G, and F. And they basically keep to the root versions of those keys. No sevenths, no suspensions. Well, there is one suspension, but it's easy. Here we go. Right after the guitar solo part, it goes right back into C and hits the root. And you hear this. That's the G major triad. G, B, and D. Backwards. I'm going to call these things triplets. They can all be played with these 3 fingers, but they're really 16th notes. That's okay. There are 4 phrases in this solo, and the first one starts with the G triad. And then the C triad in second inversion, so you keep that thumb on the G on the bottom. And then back to the G, but 3 of those triplets, and then 3 triplets for the F. So now all you need to do is count to 10, because it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to speed it up a little, and we'll see how it sounds. We've just played the first phrase of that solo. And guess what? The second phrase is the same exact thing. So the second half of the solo begins in F, in the bass, with a G triad. 2 of them. And that's the second inversion G, B, G, and D. And the pattern changes a little bit. There are still going to be 10 of these triplets, but the next one is the F root, G root, F root, G root again, and then 2 of the F root and 2 of the G second inversion. So that adds up to 10. It sounds something like this. Let's do that one more time. No, now let's go to the fourth phrase of the solo, which lands you in G in the root and an F chord in the second inversion. Two of those triads. G, another F, another G. And then it goes F, G, F, G, F, G. And that's the end of this part of the solo. So now let's hear what that sounds like. And now we come to the final part of the solo, which I don't think of as really anywhere near as hard as what we just did, because there's no counting whatsoever. You just have to hit a B flat in the root, and these are your notes: G, C, D, G. I know I said there'd be no weird jazz chords, but this is a suspended fourth. That's all it is. And all you do is go up and down and up and down. It sounds like this. He slows down at the very end there because that's where we hit the G and the root again. Now let's take a look at what those low notes are. B flat, A. You don't have to do that passing thing that I did. A flat. And you're just counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. And then it lands in G, and finally back to the bass. Here's how that goes together. It doesn't change. It just goes B flat, and now you close up shop with how's that again? C. Let's put this whole part together. That's the solo. So now let's put the whole thing together. A little slow. The thing to remember is the beginning of each phrase, the first 4 phrases, starts with a rest of an eighth note. So you don't hit these triplets right away. And that's how that solo goes. Let's talk about the rest of the song a little bit. Since this is such an iconic tune, there's a million ways to learn it. I'm just going to take you through the same basic structures with which the song begins. Those are the same triads we've been playing with. And then suddenly, in your root, you just go from F to G. 2 Fs, a suspended fourth. It goes to the other suspension, a C, D, and G. So it goes from a suspended C to a suspended G. So that final phrase, by now, you're chugging along with the bass guitar, and you hit these high Fs. Four of those dotted quarter notes, a long C, one more F, a lower octave F, and then it ends the same way. Everyone knows what happens next. Singing. We're not going to do any of that here, but I am going to take you to the pre-choruses, which are a little weird, little rhythmically weird for the keyboards. We go way up here for the F. That's F, C, D minor. The last one, going to a full G chord. And then take us through the chorus again. Now, how about the guitar solo part? That just kind of comes out of nowhere from the C major chorus into a B flat minor. G flat, A flat, to D flat. And the pattern for the keyboard is just kind of sparse. It's like... You don't even have to really worry about the bass if you have a bass guitar with you. 4 of those phrases, and that's where we're suddenly back into that phenomenal keyboard solo. So I hope that kind of shed some light on how to play that. I really don't think this is about shredding. This is really about just learning to show off for your friends. And if you learn a little tiny bit of theory, that's cool too. Make sure to like this video. If you want to comment, please do. And I'm very interested in hearing what you have to say. And I'll try to answer comments. The other thing that you should do is subscribe to this channel because there's a lot more to come. I'm not going to go back 40 years for all these songs either. We will go and look at some stuff that came out this year. And I don't mean the new Metallica album. I don't mean Def Leppard's new album. I don't mean Weezer. And I don't mean the Foo Fighters. It doesn't mean I don't not mean to look at some of those tunes, but I'm going to try to keep you up to date on some cool keyboard solos and maybe some other instruments as well. We'll see. Thanks a lot.